So first of all, I will say I use bisexual, pansexual, and queer interchangeably.
Is your bio still queer MILF?
Queer MILF. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
We
mic
love
drop,
that.
Mic
Yeah.
drop.
That
We're on.
We are on.
Welcome back, our listeners.
Yay.
It's
So
another
excited.
Thursday.
So excited for this episode.
We've been waiting to do this for a long time. We actually we have a guest that's coming on very, very soon. And we had her on before. Her name is Moly Hale. We'll talk about her in a second. But we had her stuff on here before. We had recorded with her before and it disappeared. So she's back with her actually a new story, which is even better.
We were with her during this journey, like, and we got to hear the before and after. So you guys are going to be so encapsulated by this. But first, before we introduce her, let's do our straight candid moments of the week.
Thank you, by the way, if you were a part this week and are continuing to be a part of our hashtag straight candid. We appreciate you. We love seeing them, like your moments and your selfies, like, and your stories. Like, those are the best.
Hilarious.
But damn, keep sending those in.
My favorite was the girl who said, tried to give my boyfriend the silent treatment, accidentally fell asleep.
Oh, yeah.
And he took a picture of her with her mouth like wide open. Check out that post, you guys. It is too funny.
It's in our highlights on Instagram, you guys.
Yes.
Okay, candid moments, though.
Yeah, you start.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Straight candid moments.
Yeah, this is good. So Jordan and I were in Nashville this weekend.
Yeah.
And it was really quick. We just went to go see his godmother and we're there and we went to this restaurant. They're like, sorry, we're closed. You guys can come back later or whatever. And so we're like on our way out and we're like, oh my God, cute. They have little cookies like for, dinner. So we're like, oh, let's just grab one. Like, who cares? Like, so we grabbed a cookie and we both plop them in our mouth and we're chewing them. And I'm chewing them. I'm like, this doesn't really taste very good.
Oh no.
And I like look at the bag. I'm like, no label on the bag, no nothing. It was in a huge bin right by the door. Like looks like a cookie.
Like where the mints usually are on the way out of a restaurant?
That's what I'm saying. So I grab it. I'm eating and chewing. It's a fucking dog treat. I had chewed and swallowed it. We both ate dog treats. Dude, I'm like, what the hell?
I'm so happy you didn't tell me this beforehand because I was so shocked.
We're just chomping down dog treats. Like we were eating it and I'm like, God, this is a weird ass cookie. And he like gave me a bite of his and I'm like, oh, and I literally like immediately my eyes got wide. I go, Jordan, these are dog treats. Like what?
It's
the hell?
like shaped like a bone.
Yes. No, it was shaped like a cookie. I'm like, and trust me when I say it was a goddamn dog treat. Like this was not like it was a very light oatmeal cookie. Like this was a damn dog treat. Anyway. Good freaking Lord. So yeah, so I ate a dog treat this weekend. So there's that. That was my highlight of the freaking week. What the hell?
My grandpa one time ate dog treats out of our cupboard. I remember I was like 12 years old. I was like, Papa, those are dog treats, right? He looks me in the eyes and he goes, well, pretty damn good. And continued to eat them.
Grandpa?
Yeah, he thought they were like soup crackers or something.
Oh, just like, yeah,
and
like something
eating
dry.
These little biscuits by the handful. And I distinctly remember, I'm like, Papa,
Lanta.
those are dog treats. And he was kind of shocked. And he goes, pretty damn good. Puts another handful in his mouth.
I love that fucking attitude.
Okay, I have a quick.
Oh, damn, that's good.
Mine's not as good as yours.
Okay,
I have a quick straight candid moment of the week. I went to Andrew's last night to watch some football with some of his friends and Steelers game. Because I'm a big fan now.
I was going to say, excuse me, what's going on?
I'm just like a big football girl now. So
I'm done with this.
Me and Steelers. Yeah, we go way back.
The eye roll I just gave is ridiculous.
Andrew's smirking at me. But so I brought a ton of popcorn. Like I love my stovetop popcorn.
Oh, I know
and
you do.
Andrew's like, bring 2 batches. There's a lot of people here. So I show up. I got all this popcorn. Everyone's loving me. Jonah is Andrew's roommate. He's like, so Sophie, like, how do you make this? It's so good. And I start explaining. I'm like, little coconut oil at the bottom of the pan, some olive oil. I pop it in ghee butter,
boom,
gives
pow.
it a nice taste. Boom, boom, pow. All of a sudden, I notice Jonah's bolted out of the room. And I'm like, what the?
No.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, did I say something? Next thing I know, Andrew's like, he's allergic to coconuts.
I was just going to say, is he allergic to something?
Yeah, so I almost killed a person yesterday.
Shut the hell up, dude.
Just kidding. I didn't almost kill him, but was
he good? What was he doing, Andrew? Fill us in.
Yeah, so he's allergic to coconut, but luckily this coconut was burnt, right? So it was just oil. So it wasn't like too bad, but he got extreme hives all over his face, his neck, his chest. His throat
Shut
started
up.
closing up. He immediately took like 3 Benadryl, and then he had his EpiPen in his pocket the rest of the night.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
Just after a little bit of popcorn that Sopha's so excited to share with everybody.
I will say, guess what he said to me? He goes, honestly, Sophie, it might have been worth it. So that's how good my popcorn is. If you're wondering.
It is very good. I had it like day 2 and it was freaking amazing. Sad. Oh, sad Jonah. Well, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Candid, jeez, I almost took somebody
Oopsies.
down and I ate a dog treat. So that's how the week is going. Anyway, what's new? But hey, we have Molly Hale coming on and we are so excited. She is so open and I actually met her through you.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've had her on before, but Soph, how do you know her?
So I know Molly Hale because I worked at WeWork, which is a co-working space, and she was a boss bitch there, entrepreneur.
Hell yeah.
And I would start talking to her about like dating and who I was seeing, and we just kind of clicked because she was so open about talking about sex, relationships, masturbation, and it was just like I've never met someone that was on the same level as me with that kind of stuff.
Right.
And we just clicked. So I was like, I need to talk to this girl more. So I reached out and we're like, let's get her on the podcast.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Really excited to have her here.
I'm going to read her little Instagram bio. It's Molly R. Hale is her Instagram, but her Instagram bio says like Molly Hale, digital strategy. I talk about vulvas a lot. Queer MILF. Instagram and Facebook ads for you, St. Paul, Minnesota, and then her email and then digital services. So Molly is bomb. She is the most open, candid person that I think I have ever encountered or met. She's amazing. And, you know, a little heads up, this is not a family friendly episode. This is an episode for you and your ears only, and maybe your significant other, friends, or whatever it may be. But this episode, candidly, was a little more even out there for me. And I'm not going to lie about that. And this is why we're here. We want these conversations to be open. We want people to be able to talk to things that are going on with their bodies, you know, like sexuality, all that jazz. So she talks about vulvas. She says penis. Like, if you do not want to listen to that, then time to turn off the headphones now. But she's an amazing human being and it's open and wonderful. So that's my little spiel. Let's welcome Molly Hale, huh?
Let's bring her on.
You guys, I'm actually getting my tongue tie clipped.
What is that?
What does that mean? So you can
you swallow it though?
So like it actually hurts. Like I've always had it and I haven't noticed that it was like a thing that like people didn't have.
Yeah. Wait,
And
people
then-
don't have that?
Look at
I have it.
Let me see. Yeah. Well, okay. So like I can't even like putting my tongue, like if your mouth is all the way open, you're supposed to be able to touch the top of the back of your teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
Wait, say that again?
So like if it's all the way open, yeah, yours is perfect.
What?
Well, so I'm surprised you have such a strong gag reflex. Maybe you don't.
What
Just
is-
right
I
now.
can't- mine
Just
is
maybe
so
the
short.
microphone. I don't know.
Mine is so short.
Yeah. Do you have a strong gag reflex?
Yes, I
Yeah.
gag, like nobody does this. Even if I
know.
like eat like something like a fork goes too far, I'm like,
Yeah,
or
that's
like
why.
if I take a bite of something too big, I gag all the time.
I like.
No, this is not going on.
It might.
No, it won't. This isn't on. We're not on yet. He's not even ready.
We're on.
Oh,
This is part of it. So put that microphone up, girl.
what the hell are we talking about? Everybody.
We're talking about Molly's, what is it called?
tongue tie.
Tongue tie.
Like it became a lot of hype because for like babies breastfeeding, it's like really
Yeah.
hard for them to breastfeed. And so then like a lot of babies now will get their tongue ties clipped.
Interesting.
But I'm just like, don't want such a strong gag reflex. I don't know what to tell the dentist.
Interesting.
Like
It's
chip,
like-
chop that thing.
It's like circumcising your tongue.
Right? Except for it's like actually not necessary.
I see. Gotcha.
Whereas like the
Well,
foreskin does play a role.
Not
in
necessary
the penis.
either, right?
The foreskin?
You don't need to be circumcised.
No.
So it's not necessary.
The foreskin is 100%. I love an intact man.
Ayo.
Ayo. You guys, we got Molly Hale.
Molly
back.
Hale.
What an intro.
She's here. She's back. And because you asked, we brought her back. Just kidding. We wanted her back the entire time. Everyone was like, wait, though, when's Molly going to come back?
Stop. I'm like
Seriously.
flattered.
People were hyped for it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
gosh.
Molly take two because our first
Audio.
our first audio with Molly Hale was lost in the process, along with we had a lot of you know, there was more than one thing that played into the fact that we're just going to be here again with Molly Hale, and we're so excited to have her. So welcome.
Molly, we're so happy that you're here and you wanted to come back.
I'm
that's
so
huge.
excited, y'all.
Molly
you
has,
guys are my favorite people.
you just have the most amazing like difference in story. I feel like you just have so much to say because you've learned so much even over the past like what 3 years.
Yeah.
Like you've been through like so much more than we can even encapsulate, and it's just you've learned who you are like more than we even ever have.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still looking and searching so much for like who I am, and I feel like you're finding it on the daily.
Oh, you
like
guys,
it's in the most beautiful way.
sweet.
Seriously.
I mean, we say like I've gone through a lot. It's not like I like went through like things that a lot of other people in this country have gone through, but like
of course
internal battles.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's more what I mean, I guess.
I was
but-
Yeah,
just
no,
gonna-
I hear you. I hear
I
you.
was
I
just
just
gonna
wanted to
have-
like make note of that.
Of course. Nope. Because we know that, and
Yeah.
listeners
But
might not.
also, I was just going back to like Vanessa's when she was here. She was
Yeah.
talking about little T trauma versus big T trauma. Like everyone has
Yeah.
their own hardships, and
Yes.
you don't need to downplay. You know, like
For
you've
sure,
gone
yeah,
through shit.
trauma is super
Yeah.
real. Yeah, I agree. And I do think it's a buzzword, so it's hard to like say that so much
Mm-hmm.
because then people who have like lived through, and like you said, like there's no level of trauma, like it can impact other people at different levels. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay. Well, wait. What were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say, let's get into it. So,
Sorry,
Molly,
excited.
tell us about first of all, like where you were 3 years ago versus where you are now, and how your journey has changed since then. Just kind of give us
Give us
the
your
story.
lowdown.
Give us a lowdown.
Yeah, totally. That's a great place to start.
Who are
you? So no, who
Molly
are
Hale.
you? That's your name. So yeah, 3 years ago, I have 2 kids. They're almost 5 and 3. So
MILF. That's all I gotta
we got a MILF in the
say.
building.
Yeah, so I had 2 kids. 2 kids. Pick number 3, my lord. Pick number 3.
She was like,
She had the number 3 up, but she was saying 2. It's like that video with
Yeah.
Oprah. And she goes, "I've seen the film now twice," and she has 4 fingers.
It's on Shrek.
I
Pick
know.
number 3.
I know. Sorry.
I honestly didn't get it, but I see where you're going. I like
Pick
it.
number 3, my lord. I remember
Okay,
it.
okay,
Anyway,
so
Molly.
So I had 2 kids. They were babies. I was just getting started in like being self-employed. So I'm a self-employed currently digital strategist, somewhere between like a freelancer and an agency. I have a small team that helps me out, and it's afforded me a lot of freedom, which has been amazing. So I was just getting that started. I was a evangelical Christian, like hardcore.
Oh, you were.
I was, yeah.
Okay.
At that
Past tense, I guess.
past tense. At that point, I identified as an evangelical Christian, and I thought I was here to save the world and bring everybody to white Jesus and tell them not to have sex before marriage because that's bad, and don't touch yourself, by the way, or you will burn in hell forever.
Forever.
Forever. Don't know touch so pee-pee. You will burn in hell forever. It's fucking wild. When you think about the theology, it's just wild. Okay. So that was my jam. I was heavily involved in a multi-level marketing business, which would probably classify as a cult in some lists, but I will just say it was a highly manipulative people group, financially manipulative, spiritually manipulative. There was no like actual sexual harm done or any physical abuse done, but I will say it was still very abusive mentally, and we were fully drinking the Kool-Aid. So my then husband, we just separated 3 months ago. This is very new, and we were together for 10 years.
That's recent.
Yeah, super recent. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
So it's been a little wild. So he and I were like totally full in on this business, trying to like, burn the candle at both ends, like working our jobs. And then at that point we had kind of started, I would say 3 years ago, like maybe started to peel back the layers. Maybe it was actually a little bit after, maybe this isn't what we believe. Maybe this isn't the only way to live a happy life. Like this business obviously works for some people, but at that time in our life, it's so important to mention that business because it was the foundation of all of our decisions. Like what's best for my business is best for my life.
When you say business and this group that you were in, can you explain that a little more? Just because I think it's getting like I'm a little confused. with
Sorry,
that.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you
absolutely.
said multi-level marketing, and I was thinking shampoo, conditioner, because that's what I see on social medias.
Same.
Like, but like,
Yeah. So
what
this
is
is
this?
like, so it's a bigger company called Amway Global. I don't know if that's allowed to say. Maybe we can. I don't really care.
we can bleep it out if we need
They
to.
might want to sue you.
Bring it on.
They're a $12 billion company, like huge. They're like one of the first multi-level marketing businesses out there. And then within that, there are tons and tons of training organizations. So the training organization, so they're kind of connected, right? Like Amway pays you, this training organization teaches you. So the training organization that we're a part of, we're getting really into the weeds on this, you guys.
That's okay. Take it as far out or far in as we want.
The business, yeah. I'm just talking about like
is this
how
religious or is this?
It was,
about
yeah.
business.
So they were.
Okay.
So this training organization was very, very like ministry focused. This was gonna be the way that they brought people to Jesus, and so
okay.
our faith and our business and our lives and our friends were all connected.
So everything was integrated in the work that you were doing, in the religion that you did, like in your relationship, how you treated yourself and other people, and how you probably were in your actual like relationship. I'm saying like with your husband at the time.
100%.
So that's wild, first of all.
We look back at that, each of us individually, and we have like apologized to each other. Like, I'm so sorry that I upheld standards to you that were so out of bounds. And I'm so sorry that I like perpetuated misogynist beliefs and held you back on your own personal journey and individual growth. And so leaving this business quickly after we left, we sort of like all the pieces fell apart as far as like what we believed religiously. And we were the people that were like, we're not religious. It's a relationship. This is about love and being a good person. And voting for Trump.
Oh man.
If you follow Molly on Instagram, you know she did not vote for Trump.
Yeah, hell no.
How did you know? How did you know? I did in 2016.
Did you?
That's what's wild.
Okay, yeah, but that was way back when you had this different overarching.
This is like how different I am now, and it's like I wouldn't have dared even post political stuff. So I'm in this crazy transition in the last 3 years, somewhere in there, of like I'm deconstructing my faith, no longer a Christian, don't really know what I believe, to be completely honest with you. I'm out of this business, so that means all of my friends are pretty much out. Like the entire community of people was like, bye, like you're toxic now.
Oh, so you lost a lot of friends in the process.
Oh, like
too.
all our entire group of friends.
Oh.
And there was like our coaches and these people that were like helping us live our best life, and they were like, you are leaving God's plan for your life by leaving this business. Yeah. So that was me 3 years ago, and me today. I am
You're here.
a single polyamorous MILF, freaking running my own business,
wearing a necklace that says "Daddy," and if I'm not mistaken, she's
would also
wearing
be
a vibrating necklace.
Yes, this is a vibrator.
Honestly, it's a gorgeous necklace. I'm not gonna lie though, it really is.
It says "I come first" on there.
Oh. Wait, I just got that. I'm so dumb.
Wait, it took me a little bit too.
Okay, I was like, oh, that's so sweet, and then I go, oh.
Can you turn it on and put it on the mic? Just give everyone a little.
This is level 1. Here's a
Straight up honor necklace.
and
A 1 and a 2 and a 3, and here we go. Okay, so you say polyamorous.
yeah.
Can you explain that, just because, you know, you've educated me before on what that means, but I want everyone here to know what that means.
Yeah, so I would say the overarching term would be ethically non-monogamous, right? And then within that, there are people that identify as different things. So I identify as polyamorous. Basically, that means many loves. That's what it directly translates to. And it essentially means I can have the capacity for multiple romantic relationships at once. And they all know about each other. It's not a surprise. Like, everybody knows that I'm dating multiple people. And essentially, it's a decision to not ride the relationship escalator. So the relationship escalator looks like you meet, you're flirting, then you're in the DMs, then you're sexting, then they meet your mom.
Andrew.
Right. So you're going up the escalator, and it ends at you having a legacy together, a family, you're cohabitating, you're sharing finances, you're married, and you're completely integrated in each other's lives. And that's a beautiful thing that works for so many people. But a lot of people that identify as polyamorous are like, I don't really want to ride this relationship escalator. So like I have several, I would say, current relationships right now that are like, we're like stopped like where you would think we would progress next to. We're like,
I see,
we hang out all the time and we've kissed, but we like haven't gone farther than that, and that's totally okay.
And you're just enjoying it.
Yeah, so we're like, there's no pressure to move forward. There's no pressure to like wonder what's going on. And then within that, it just, because it's more loose and fluid, there's a lot more opportunity for dialogue around consent, around how's everybody's feeling, what's your capacity, what does your actual work life look like right now? Do you have the capacity to bring on like a primary partner?
So it's basically, you're not like assuming that it's going to keep going. You're open to it.
Yeah.
But more the assumption that like it's going to stop when it stops and we'll just kind of ride it out from there.
Yeah. And even like, I think that's the thing that's really beautiful about it, as far as like, if it stops, or it's going to stop. Because I think a lot of my relationships are like, the door is open. Like, because there's no defined term over what the connection is that we have, we can just switch it to being friends after. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally fine. And because there's just so much communication around that, because there's safety, right? Like, we're obviously in a pandemic and STIs are a real thing. And so these conversations have to happen. Whereas I think in monogamous relationships, it's just easier to just kind of like not think of them, or like just pass it. Like, you're just obviously not doing that with other people, right?
I see. That's
That
so,
makes
I like it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, it's interesting. It makes sense, but it's interesting being in like I'm not in a relationship like that, you know, and you aren't either.
Mm-mm.
So it's just a different feel.
Yeah.
Can I ask like how, I don't even know how to ask this. Is like, I want to ask like, how is the transition from being in something like so,
like a monogamous
relationship to not, or like, you know, or in general, you can speak in general or specifics.
And how do you bring up that conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say, because I was so indoctrinated in purity culture, which basically is don't touch yourself, you're, you know, saving yourself for one person. Anything else? Sorry, I'm like burping.
Little hiccup.
Hey, we're human. Candid
We're not
moment.
going to apologize
Molly,
for
Nope.
the
straight
sounds our
candid.
bodies make.
There you go.
Normal sounds, normal bodies. Okay. So I think it took a lot of time for me to admit to myself that it was something that I wanted. Because I was like, this is like, people that are in open marriages or people that are in open relationships or people that are non-monogamous are like weird. They're way out there. They're like super kinky, or like they're super whatever. Like, that was totally that mindset that I had. And then when I met like normal people that look just like me and have similar backgrounds as me, because there's a lot of people that are like identify like ex-evangelical or ex-evangelical that have ventured into like open marriages and polyamory, because it's kind of like the next structure to like take apart and see like, why is this here? Like, I've already taken apart the structure of like the church in my life and like the government and on how that is serving me. And so next is like marriage and relationships. And then that's like a doozy. That's a hard one to get through. So for me, it was like, okay, I've always like, throughout all of my years of monogamy, I constantly, quote unquote, struggled with feeling things for other people, with feeling like I wanted to like explore sexually with other people. And then I would shame myself and be like, oh my gosh, Jezebel spirit. That's actually what I was told, that I had a Jezebel spirit.
What is that?
It's like a religious term for like a woman who's like a slut.
Oh my.
And it's like
Okay.
a horrible term.
Yeah,
it's a horrible
no, I
term.
knew.
Like,
I assumed.
Jezebel in the Bible actually sucks. Like, she wasn't just a slut. Like, she actually like killed people.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you're a
So
killer.
they're comparing you to a murder.
Yeah, it's
A
like
murderer in the
basically-
book.
Yeah,
Got
it's
it,
like
got it.
actually horrible.
Makes sense.
So, but that's like a very common term, is like the Jezebel spirit. Yeah. So anyway, I was so ashamed of it myself that I like, wow, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm married to this incredible human. He's the best like man ever. He's an amazing father. Like, why do I want to talk to this other person? Or like, why do I think I'm maybe bisexual? So after I got past that like internal shame that I had around like potentially wanting to be non-monogamous, it was like, I just felt so much more free. And it's still a daily process, I think, of like letting myself admit that I have these desires and that they're not wrong and that's okay. And like, I didn't have the language that I have now 3 years ago to sit and say like, oh, I have, you know, I'm pansexual and I blah, blah, blah. Like, all these things.
Yeah.
So
Didn't you say, I remember when we recorded the first time, you mentioned something about a couple books that you read that really like stood out to you and kind of helped you through the process.
And giving that vocabulary, right?
Yeah. So do you remember, can you talk about those books really quick too?
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm seriously just going to recommend one.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. Let's start
Okay.
with one.
I know that's not overwhelming for me, being not a book reader. I'm like, okay, I can do one.
and it's new and it's really freaking good. And no matter what type of relationship you're in, you ladies should read it for sure.
Okay.
It is so
Amazing.
good. It's called Polysecure. It's written by Jessica Fern, and it goes over attachment theory. I don't know if you guys know anything about attachment theory. This is like, if you're just learning about attachment theory, you've like seen stuff on Instagram or you've like listened to a podcast on it once
TikTok.
or twice. Yeah, exactly. This is the great way to do the deep dive.
Okay.
Like, the first half of the book is just about attachment theory, and that goes into like childhood stuff. It goes into like race. It goes into economics. It goes into all these factors that you should be considering on why you like identify with one attachment style over the other.
What attachment style are you?
So I think I'm actually in a place right now where I have what is considered in the book an earned secure attachment. So
Okay.
I, in the past, have really like wrestled with anxious attachment, which basically looks like, do you like me? Do you like me now? Am I
Validate.
too much?
Yeah, that
Do you,
validation.
like, are you feeling like you're on the exact same page as me? Because if you're not, if you like me a little bit more, or I like you a little bit more, then everything's gonna fall apart. Like that was totally my internal monologue. And also, everyone has one of these attachment styles. Like, it's not like you, when I say I have currently an earned secure attachment, like I could 100% slip into anxious attachment in like 5 minutes. Like it's very fluid. You can identify with more than one. So that one's really good for just going into how to communicate. And so, yeah, that's the book I would recommend everyone.
And it's not a book being like, oh, look into your relationship. Maybe you should be in a polyamorous relationship. It's not like, this is nothing like pushing you to be that. It's just about having open-mindedness and also educating yourself on your feelings. And so you don't have to carry shame. You can just be you and understand what you're feeling.
And this one goes into, I haven't finished it yet, but I know that it does go into more like logistics on like what it looks like to be in multiple relationships and how it feels. And obviously the big one is jealousy. How do you manage jealousy and things like that? So that's a good one. And then if you really want another one, I would say The Ethical Slut is another really good one.
Can I ask something then about like open relationships in general, or like just in the pack that you just brought up, jealousy? It's like, how do you balance that jealousy in yourself then, or in other people, if you're like seeing multiple people and maybe you're worried that other person's going to skew away because you're seeing multiple people, or like all those different jealousy pieces?
I feel like open marriages and polyamory in general is founded on a basis of abundance. Like, I don't believe that me giving love to one partner is going to somehow take away from giving love to another.
Wow.
I think friendships are open relationships. If you think about it, like I'm not jealous that you're going to go and hang out with your friends tonight. Like I can manage that. I also think jealousy is a cue, right? So jealousy is just indicating that I have fear somewhere. Like, what inside me is needing to be tended to? Is this relationship not secure in certain ways? Like, I have one of my partners right now is long distance, and he has another partner out right now. He's on the West Coast, and
Is this the guy that you sent us a cute picture of?
probably
He's cute.
He's a cutie.
he's like really cute. You're wrong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, hey.
Yeah,
He was
really really sweet. So that's been really fun. That's been like probably
That's
my
so
deepest
exciting.
connection right now. Yeah, it's been great. But so he has another partner out right
Okay.
now on the West Coast who's there for a month, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm
fun.
gonna be paging through Polysecure the whole time. Like, it's fine. I'm good.
Checking myself.
No,
help.
we're good. It was seriously like, it's been such a beautiful like trip. Like, it's been probably 3 weeks now since she's been there, and I've never met her. I don't know anything about her, but I like, he just reassured me before. He's like, I'm not in a position where I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't allow me to explore the things I want to explore, and I want to explore things with you. And so I'm like, great, that's all I really need to hear. And has
beautiful.
given me that consistency though, where he's built that trust with me. Like, all beginnings of relationships are insecure attachments in some way, because you just don't know. You're trying to figure out their energy, if they trust you, if they're worth investing in. So this guy has just like shown up hardcore with like, let's talk about the hard shit and
I
let's
love
do
that.
it.
Someone who communicates.
How did you find him? Like,
Yeah.
since he lives across the country and he's also open to a, polyamorous, right?
Yeah.
Relationship. So how'd you go about finding someone like that?
Oh yeah, and then I didn't answer your other question either. So
Okay.
dating apps are amazing. Like, a lot of dating apps are very like kink friendly and polyamory friendly. So I actually met him on a dating app, And it was when me and my then husband, well, we're still married. We're still partnered. So I was in an open marriage. And so he and I have been talking for, like 4 months now. So I met him and I have right on my dating profile, like I am non-monogamous. It is like non-negotiable. If somebody even asks me like, what is non-monogamy or like, how does that work? I'm like, it's just not a good fit. Like you're probably a great person, but I'm not going to take the emotional energy to walk you through this.
Yeah, they can go do that and explore
it's
that on your own.
It's a lot of work. Like, okay, let me just completely destructure the entire relationship model that I was grown up with for 25 years. No problem. Like everything that we see, right? So
movies.
I'm all about like make polyamory boring. Like this is not that crazy. Like this is just all it is communication and like schedules and shitty hard conversations.
Have you seen other guys or females on those apps that have the same, like where do you put that non-monogamous? Like where?
Like in your bio?
Yeah, like probably like the first line.
Do other people have that, or is there an app that's maybe specific to people that are open to non-monogamy?
I would say Field is really good. FEELD.
Okay.
That's the only app I'm on right now.
Okay.
Because dating
people
apps
are like typing it in right now.
Suck all of your energy out. Like dating apps are, I mean, think about it. Like how much energy can you constantly be like judging, right? So anyway, I'm on one. And that one is like, it's like for threesomes, it's for like unicorns, it's for single people, but it's very like kinky and definitely like non-monogamous friendly. Also like OkCupid, I would say, is pretty open to it. But I had it like in Bumble and Hinge. I just put it right in there.
Okay.
Non-monogamous.
Which makes sense. Then it's just open for everybody.
It kind of reminds me of that hashtag open, or I think that's what it's called. Hashtag open is another app that it's like threesomes. It's anyone that's not.
I think I have heard of that.
On the main line. Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with that one.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you.
I looked it up when I was single.
She's
like threesome?
All
right.
You're like, okay.
Molly keeps asking me. So.
I know. Yeah. What would you
found a few couples on Field.
Hey.
So that has been fun.
Really? That's fun.
I was going to ask you, like, for somebody who is maybe in a marriage or in a long-term relationship or just in a relationship in general and is listening and they're like asking themselves questions like, maybe that's me. Like, what would you suggest they do? Like, what was your first step?
Yeah. So I think for sure, like, take a breath. Like, it's scary. Like, it's really scary to be like, oh shit, I need to be like honest with myself that I've wanted to be disloyal or I've wanted to be whatever. That's okay. You're allowed to have those feelings. You're allowed to want things. Like, I feel like that step was like 4 months. And then I was like reading the books and then finding a community. I don't really want people to like listen to this and then message me and like ask me if I think they're polyamorous. Like, you got to do the inner work yourself. I'm more than happy to chat with you, like, and connect and whatever. But like, that is something that I get a lot. And like, I can't do that work for you. Like, you have to look at your habits. And I think I've said it enough, like why you want what you want. Mm-hmm. And then don't be afraid that maybe if that looks extremely different than your life looks right now, like I was terrified to be like looking at the idea that my marriage was ending and everything that I've imagined for my life up until now included me in this family, right? Like, and we're still a family. But I had to admit, like, I can still have the life I love and want and have trust in my relationship with Tim, who I'm now co-parenting with, even if it doesn't look like it did.
That's okay.
It's okay.
It's completely okay.
It's totally okay.
And you can find that internal balance. And it's also like, what is the life that you're living if you're not happy? You know, I mean, what's the value?
If you're going to build a house of cards and you're just literally lying to others and yourself, what's the fucking point? What is the point of that partnership if you're like too numb to function?
And you're not being yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's powerful.
That's deep.
I know.
I let that I let that silence just sit there.
I had to.
I liked that.
I did.
Honestly, yeah, I will say, like, before we've had you on the first time, before you're even talking now, I used to always, go back to, oh no, it's monogamy. Like, that's the way that's what I've seen. That's what I've heard. That's what I know of. But I love hearing like a perspective from someone who's just so that you've experienced both. Like, you've gone from one extreme to the other. Mm-hmm. And it's not even that it's extreme. I don't mean it in that way, but at the same time, it's just like you have both the perspectives. So it's so cool to hear what you have to say. And I do want to kind of circle back because I heard you say something about bisexuality. And I'm curious about the process with that, and like how, like when that first thought popped in your mind that of you thinking that maybe you might be bisexual, how you went about, you know, thinking through that, etc. So
being curious.
And with the polyamorous dating, are you dating women and men at the same time?
Yeah.
So all of that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Loaded.
So first of all, I will say I use bisexual, pansexual, and queer interchangeably.
Is your bio still queer MILF?
Queer MILF.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
We
Mic
love
drop,
that.
Mic drop.
I was so
That's
it
that
feels
queer
good.
MILF.
It feels good to have like a title when you're going through such a major life transition, right? Like my primary partnership is no longer there, but like I'm still a mom. I'm
Hell yeah,
still
you are.
a queer MILF. Like
Yes,
I'm
bitch.
still out here as a boss. So
Yes, you are.
It feels good to like have that. I will say. So I think I always knew I was bisexual. I think I just always thought everybody was bisexual, like all women. I'm like, I would go to like sleepovers when I was young and we would all be making out. Like that's like very normal behavior for like girl sleepovers. And
I
like,
was gonna say, I remember being shady with my girlfriends when
Really?
I was young. Oh yeah.
yeah.
I feel like all girls played like the like high school games, you know, where
Yeah.
you would
What?
pretend to be high schoolers. I don't know.
I
Like
didn't
you would just
play
play
these
like
games. I'm not gonna lie.
really?
No, I'm not gonna
Sid
lie.
missed
Oh my
out.
god! Like the first person I ever kissed was a girl in a closet, pretending we were
Absolutely.
at a like playing fake high school or college, like pretending you were at a party.
Oh, funny.
It's like
oh my
13
God.
going on 30.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
sorry.
I think I finally just like became educated enough where I was like, oh, I am bisexual very clearly. Like I'm attracted to women. I think when I first came out, like I had never like gone down on a girl. So I was like, oh, I don't think I can say this. And then I think a lot of bisexual queer people are like, they think that they're less gay because you like all genders or both genders. Like you're fucking gay. Like,
Yeah, and
you're
that's
gay,
okay.
gay. Like I am queer. Just because I like dicks, I'm like still really gay.
And that's fine wherever you are.
Yeah,
literally
like,
wherever you are.
I just think people need to know that.
I like that.
So, what was the last question that you asked me?
So when you're dating, like when
Oh yeah,
you're-
if I'm dating whoever,
Yeah.
yeah, I date people of all genders, for sure. Like I go way more on like physical connection, energy connection now. Like I'm obviously very emotionally unavailable right now, right? Like I separated from my husband 3 months ago. Like I'm not looking for something to someone to whisk
Yeah.
me away, like at all. But I'm not afraid to chase a feeling, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh,
afraid
yeah.
to I'm not afraid to think about down the road. Maybe I would be in a monogamous relationship again. I can't imagine that happening, but maybe, or maybe monogamy looks different at that time.
Yeah, and you're a different person. You've gone and you've experimented and you've explored and you've been you, and
Yeah.
therefore found yourself even
Yeah.
further.
I feel like I've just like reclaimed my body. Like my body is my own. My body is my own. Like it's not owned by anyone else. It's not controlled by anyone else. I can show up as Moly fucking Hale and I can do what I want. Like with this.
yeah.
I like that. I like how you put that too, because
I-
you're in control.
I think it's cool that you know that you're emotionally unavailable for like a monogamous relationship. And I feel like a lot of people, when they get out of a bad breakup or even a marriage, they say they're single and they don't really want to settle down with anyone. So people think that they're just like sleeping around or doing all these other things. But you can kind of recoin that or even like reterm that as like, what if you just played with polyamorous dating for a little bit? Because it's kind of similar. Like being like when I was single for 3 years, I definitely dated more than one person at a time.
I'll admit to
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Did they all know about each other?
No. And
that's where it
the
gets
issue.
shady. That's where we're shady.
So I felt like I was like going behind people's back and being like shameful and guilty about it. But at the same time, it was like, I'm single. I'm
We're
allowed to do this.
non-exclusive.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out who I like, you know? So I think that's so cool when you put it that way. It just kind of made me think of that. I was like, whoa, I feel like a lot of men go through this after breakups.
and you're acknowledging that you're still healing and still
Yeah.
like, you know, going through the motions, but you're enjoying yourself, your body, and other people, still learning on the way and communicating differently. Like the big standout with how you've talked about like dating other people and things of that nature and who you are now is like how well you can communicate what you're feeling.
Yeah.
It's like you communicate like, I'm feeling lost and locked in my relationship right now. Like, I don't feel like I have like power over my whole body. It's like a lot of people don't have the power to say that. Like, what would you say to somebody who feels like they can't even speak to what they're feeling inside or like who they are as a person anymore? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I thought about actually on my drive here, because like I think the biggest part that has allowed me to have the language and the ability and the confidence in saying what I want and what I need is knowing myself. Like, I've really gotten into like embodiment work. Like, I do yoga for at least an hour to 2 hours every night.
That's
like,
so
I'm
beautiful.
on the mat. I'm like there with a journal. Like, you don't have to write a long journal, but like just listen to your body and like see what it has to say. Like, my body tells me so much. And I think about this because this has been about a year now of this habit. It was right when quarantine started that I started doing yoga every single night. So last March. And I think about like, how did I even function before this? Like, how did I know what I wanted before I connected with my body intentionally every day? So I would say, if you're feeling like, okay, I don't know where to go from here. I know that I'm not living this full life, but it is providing me all of this security. It's providing me, you know, maybe it's financial security, maybe it's from emotional security. Take a breath and just like think about it.
And flow with your body.
And like just listen to that, and then eventually start to look at possibly restructuring that. But if you can't feel those things and then communicate them directly to your partner, again, what is the point of a partnership if you can't be brutally fucking honest?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be your best friend.
Like,
it's supposed to be your partner for life, like creating life together. Like, you need to be able to speak to that person. And what's scary is even now, I think we can speak to like different people that we've encountered or know that maybe like are in relationships that they can't even be their full selves in, or you see them right in front of you changing into maybe what the other person wants, or they assume that the other person wants. And that gets scary. And it's like hard to connect with them and be like, I see what you're doing. Like, I want you to know I'm here for you and I can help if you want me to, but you need to be in touch with yourself. Yeah. It's hard to tell your friends that. Yeah. Or,
it's
you know,
hard
whoever
to know
it is.
yourself. Yeah. I mean, I think it's something we're all working on, right? Like, we are under no obligation to be the same person we were 15 seconds ago. And
you're allowed to change your mind.
Yeah, you're allowed to change your mind.
So back on like a lighter note, we keep like, I like that we're kind of going ebb and flow with like serious questions and lighthearted. So when you're dating numerous people, boys and girls, how many people are you dating right now? Boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Like,
well, because they probably ebb and flow. They're probably not all like,
it's ebb and flow. Like, you get a roster, you know.
Let's go down the list. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I would say I have 2 people right now that are like consistent. I would consider I could potentially use the word partner, but we're not using really that term yet. Date mate, connections. Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
So one of them's long distance and one of them's local.
Okay. Got you.
Both men?
Both are men.
Okay.
Both have penises. Both nice penises.
I'm dead.
Molly kills me.
Well, I was going to say, like, do you decide, tonight I feel like a woman. Tomorrow.
Oh, funny.
A male.
No, it's really like just kind of like you look at your schedule just like you would with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
okay.
I haven't seen them in a while. I haven't chatted with them in a while. It's the same. Like, I operate all of my relationships. And I would say I'm, not to throw a wrench in this whole thing and bring in another term, but I'm like solo poly. So I like my primary relationship is with myself right now. So I am not looking to cohabitate. I'm not looking to do all the things, right? Not looking to be your girlfriend really. So that just makes decisions easy. Like, what do I want to do this week? How many people have I seen without a mask this week? How many, like, what's everything looking like, you know?
Wow. Very true.
And I love long distance relationships, especially in this way, because it's like I can have that secure attachment with somebody who is not always here, and I have to learn to just fill those needs myself. Or
do you have FaceTime sex or anything?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Soph's like, ooh,
underrated. Mutual
Really,
masturbation over FaceTime. Underrated.
Ooh. Okay, give us the
You
deets.
go, ooh.
Give us the deets.
Well, I will just say I launched an OnlyFans.
Wait, what'd you say?
I launched my OnlyFans.
She's a queen.
So let's just say her FaceTime sex is really good. If she has an OnlyFans, is that true?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, wait, hold on. OnlyFans. I know about nothing about this besides for the fact I know of a few people that have it who are like famous. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, give us
So I just
a little
launched
info.
it 10 days ago. I had a tweet go viral, and I had been thinking about launching my OnlyFans for a couple months, and actually my husband and I like considered doing one together for a while. And
Well, you guys made a cool video together. I remember seeing that.
Actually, the porn that we filmed was just submit into Humpfest, which is like an
What's that?
indie porn like festival thing.
Do you get paid for it?
I don't know, but it'll be fun. I don't really care.
It was sexy.
It's pretty
It
hot.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, the
And-
new edit is really cool too. Yeah.
There's a new edit?
Yeah, I'll show you
Okay,
it.
send to me, please.
Yeah, so anyway, we had been thinking about it for a long time, and then I was like, fuck it, let's just launch this thing. Like, I don't care. It'll just be fun, because my Twitter is like a lot more unhinged. I'm like more unfiltered. There's a big crowd of like, again, like evangelicals there who are like reclaiming their body, other femmies who are like, you know, in this process of deconstructing purity culture. So I was like, let's just see how I feel. Like, I really wanted to be like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about being naked on the internet. I don't know if I'm going to want to do the porn shit or not. But I'm having so much fucking fun.
Are you alone when you do all this?
Yeah.
Can I ask that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
There's
So you're
some,
just, like-
there's some videos with like partnered sex. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was going to say, so Molly has a really cool closed friend group on her Instagram, which is kind of how I knew she was so
Sex positive.
sex positive.
Yeah, sex
yes.
positive. Yeah.
So that's one reason why we're like, we got to get her on here. But also, I felt like on your closed friend group, when you would post, like, there was some, like, every now and then I'd see like a little side boob or something. And I'd be like, she's holding back. Like, she is so holding back. She wants to just let it out.
Not gonna lie, I knew that too. I
so
thought the same thing.
I am so excited for this OnlyFans. And you sent us a link before this. Clicked on it. Obviously, I can't see the videos. So,
Yeah, because you have to pay for it.
well,
You dimwad?
yeah.
Can you read
but
the fine print
I
right on
thought-
the top?
I'll send you a trial
I thought,
link.
yeah, I was gonna say, can I have a discount code or something?
No, I have
Andrew,
a
you
real,
can watch it
real
with
life
me.
question. Real life question. Is this empowering? Like, do you feel empowered when you do it? Like, as who you are, as a woman, as whatever. Like, do you feel
honestly,
like powerful?
I feel like I have been empowered so much in the last year. And like, to go back to like, I'm naked on the internet and this is scary. Like, I've been naked on the internet. Like, how about when I announced the ending of my partnership of 10 years? Like, I was fucking spread eagle that day. Like, I would have rather have been a centerfold in Maxim. Like, that was being naked.
Yeah.
Like, that is hard, you know? And so
That's
like
a great point.
the fact that I'm like gutting myself for the whole world, and then we're gonna be mad that I'm showing the meat suit I live in, like,
Yeah, like, and it's your choice, and you're making
so
money.
honestly,
and
yeah, like, I don't think would say I'm empowered, but I'm having a lot of fun. Like, I post a lot. Most of the creators on there are like weekly or like a couple times a week. I'm like daily, like in the DMs, like loving this. Like, everybody's been so respectful. It's been so fun. I have met over 100 fans now. Like, so it's been cool.
just like,
Like,
she's
making
killing
that
it.
money.
making money.
See? Oh my God. Okay, I have to ask a real question about it, because this is just me like going through, like, I don't know
Yeah.
OnlyFans. I don't.
Our listeners probably don't know exactly, especially female listeners. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but men maybe know what it's about. Not sure.
I've just heard. I know friends whose brothers have gone on OnlyFans because they've seen it on like the credit card statement or blah blah blah, like, or the mom side on the credit card statement. Yeah, like the whole thing. Anyway, I just have to
my
ask.
polyamorous.
Yeah,
They're
like-
gonna got some explaining to do.
Oh, mamas. What do you like? I guess I don't even know how to word this. I'm like, is there, or what would you say to somebody who's looking at like OnlyFans and being like, oh, this person is showing too much. Like, this is so out there. Like, this is just like, this isn't the norm. Like, what would you say to someone that's saying that or thinking that?
Yeah, I can totally understand why that would trigger a lot of insecurities, and it would trigger a lot of like, how dare they? And I think that's totally okay. Why don't you just go and sit with that?
sit with that.
You don't have
Sit
to,
over there.
You don't have to subscribe. I hear you. I hear that that's probably really hard. I get that.
And at the same time, it's like you're doing this. I mean, you are a boss bitch. You are an entrepreneur. You have 2 kids, and you're using this as like, honestly, it's creative for you. Like, I know you love video and photography, and you are so sex positive. I feel like it's just it encapsulates a lot of your personality, and why not make some money off of it?
Yeah, thank you. That's really sweet.
So
and I do
It's
feel
totally-
like it is an extension of my other social presences.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like all of a sudden my voice switches on OnlyFans and I'm like this weird other like, or I don't like, I write long posts, and I actually just last week sent out sexting screenshots from like past.
Wait, yeah, explain it, because I'm like, wait a minute.
So like I was like sexting with like a Bumble match.
Oh, okay. I heard you wrong. Yeah.
I like obviously covered their name and stuff, but I like sent it out as like a post because it's hot, and like what a fun way to consume like content, you know?
For sure. And that's what's also different about OnlyFans is I'm pretty sure that like you can get as creative as you want. And I feel like the way you do it, from what I saw, at least you were writing like captions and kind of giving everyone your full story along rather than just being like, here are my tits.
Yeah.
It was more like, I was in an open marriage. I'm here now. I'm living alone for the first time. Like, this is me making pasta and I'm getting sticky.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that.
Okay.
Wait,
it was me
because I
making
saw a
bread.
caption.
Bread, whatever
Oh, yeah,
the
I saw
hell.
that.
All I saw was sticky and I was like, ooh, hello, Molly. Legit.
Hello, Molly.
Hello, Molly.
That video is so funny. Like literally, I look like crap in that video. I literally like rolled out of bed and I'm like, it's like a low angle, so I have like this nasty like. You know,
Oh,
chin,
stop. Whatever.
You know, we're all self-conscious about that. Well, I am, whatever. And I'm like trying to be sexy. Like I sent it to this guy on the West Coast that I was talking about earlier. And I was like, oh, like kneading the dough,
Look at
baby.
me.
Like
slapping
yeah.
this dough.
And like halfway through the video, you just see me like, it's really sticky.
Oh.
I can't get off my hands, and the flower's up there, and I can't turn off the video because my hands are covered in dough.
Oh, so you're stuck. OMG.
Yeah, and I
Were
was
you
like,
naked when you were
I
doing
was
this?
topless. Yeah,
Cute.
So it's just like me laughing at myself, and like
And you're being creative.
it was fun. And also like I do like posting sometimes like content that I'll send my partners is like, yeah, this is like how I operate in relationships, and this is my vibe.
I love how
That's so
you just
fun.
speak to it so creatively. Because some people genuinely, because I've asked, friends or family, or not family, I mean my sister. When I say family, I mean my sister. She's
My
my
mom.
age. Please, everyone, relax. But it's like you ask them, and like some people are like totally not okay with sharing those things, or the fact that people share them. Like you think of even like next level would be like porn stars, and like what they share is just so much more. Or like people think that they're just too out there, like that's not okay, even though they're getting paid, and that industry is a whole nother thing. We won't even deep dive that. But
I
like
totally don't want to go there.
some people don't like accept that, or like they don't see it as creation and art, and like you're using an outlet, a new outlet, to put things out there that you feel good about putting out there for people that want to pay money for it and just enjoy it.
I feel like if you're consuming porn, isn't it more fun to consume it from somebody who, even if you don't know them in real life, like to actually be following a story, I think is just more engaging.
Wow. Yes. I
Like,
like that.
It doesn't feel as like odd to me. Like porn's not odd, but it's just like, it's, you know what I mean? It feels almost, some of it is like too wrong. You've all seen the stories on the news, like of things that come out and it's like, whoa, that's not good. And that is sad. But this is like,
Sure,
it's just
yeah,
creation. It's
I think it's empowering financially for sure. Like my payouts are certainly empowering.
a queen.
I was just going to say, to everyone who watches porn and the fact that there's a lot of, people being degraded on porn sites, and yet you're against OnlyFans, like check yourself.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, is like the people, they're not seeing it. They're just not seeing it eye to eye when this is like something that you choose to be a part of. People pay, like you create how you want to. You give, some people literally sell like tutorials on there of like how to make X. Like it's not even sexual at all.
Yeah.
It's not all that. You know what I mean? It can, and it's just like it could be a story. It could be like sexual. It can be whatever the hell you want because it's yours.
And I also feel like I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Most people aren't going to subscribe to my OnlyFans. That's totally cool. Great. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No sweat off my back.
Exactly. It's empowering.
And OnlyFans, like I'm pretty sure some like famous Instagrammers that I know that have an OnlyFans, they don't even post like completely nude
Yeah,
photos.
a lot of people are not fully nude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, I just had to mention the whole porn thing because at the same time it's like OnlyFans is at least a storyline and everyone who's there wants to be there.
Exactly.
So I'm proud of you.
Exactly. I'm proud of you too. You go rock. She gives a rock and roll little
I love
sign.
you. This one's I love
Oh,
you.
I didn't see the thumb. Your hand was like
no,
this.
I was so upset.
Oh, ma'am. No, that is, that's I love you.
Did I do the
That's
shocker?
I love you.
No,
Yeah.
rock and roll is this. I love you is this.
I had a friend that for his Costco picture, he went like this.
No, he didn't.
Yep.
Ooh.
Kind of funny, right?
Yeah, kind of. If you're immature. Sorry, no offense.
Okay. So speaking of your necklace and vibrators, I want to hear, because you post a lot about masturbation.
Yeah.
Just the importance behind self-pleasure and maybe how you discovered that, and how you incorporate that maybe when you're intimate with others.
Yeah. Okay, so back to 3 years ago, I had never masturbated. Like, I just started like solo sex in the last couple years.
That's kind of wild to me, being that you were married and with
I mean,
your ex for 10 years.
Yeah, like obviously as like a kid, I was like doing normal things that kids do, like humping my bed and like humping
same.
pillows and like rubbing up again, because I didn't know, right? Like, and that's a very, again, normal activities. That's, if you have children, they're gonna do that. Don't shame them. I keep looking at the camera. I can't not. It's
I
in
know
my
it's
face.
well, it's right there. I get it. I know. I'm like,
Okay, so
The humping beds just
yeah.
kills me.
So yeah, right.
I remembered back in the day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I discovered it way too young.
I don't think so, because actually, like, infants masturbate in, like, if you want to call it masturbating, like in the womb. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
super normal. Like,
That's so
high area,
interesting.
so many nerve endings, different feelings, especially for, you know, people with vulvas. Like, people that have penises touch their penis multiple times a day, every day, to use the bathroom. Women do not.
True.
I was scared to like touch myself. I didn't know what was down there. It was like this big hole that I didn't know. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize it was like intricately designed with like beautiful, like, it's, vulvas are gorgeous.
Vulvas, way more pretty than penis.
it's sad that like we have it on our body and we don't even know what it does or what it is or how to even take care of it in a way, in a sexual way or anything. Like, really.
Totally. So I think like self-touch has been huge for me. My orgasms are like 4 minutes long now. Like,
Yeah, you told me that one time and my jaw dropped. So give us the details. How?
yeah. So honestly, like connecting with your body, which I know sounds really simple, but like, go slow with yourself, like date yourself, do the damn oil thing, feel yourself up, go all the way. Like, don't just like go for the kill, you know.
That's my issue. I
and
just go right for the kill.
Yeah, like you gotta like kind of woo yourself a little bit and appreciate your body. And like through that process of like, you know, days and weeks and months of getting to know your body and what other erogenous zones you appreciate, you will have much more intense and pleasurable orgasms.
Did you say 4 minutes?
Yeah.
How the hell in
It's
God's
kind of
name is that
wild.
possible?
It's kind of wild. So I do have one other
one
thing.
lasts 4 minutes.
One lasts 4 minutes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like you can feel your vulva like pulsing like the whole time.
Did you say something when I asked you a long time ago? I was sending you audio recordings. I'm like, how? Teach me how.
Yeah.
And you said something about like breathing techniques.
So
Is that part of it or no?
a yoni egg is really helpful, and it's
yoni
essentially
egg.
just
Someone told me
a
about
rock
this.
egg. I mean, it can be made of other things. Mine's rose quartz, and you insert it in your vagina, and you do Kegels, or I just like have it in like watching TV or when I'm masturbating, and it strengthens your pelvic muscle. So that's how you're supposed to do Kegels or Kegels, however you say them. And I do think that was a big factor in like increasing my orgasm length and intensity. But it was so quick after I got the egg that I don't know. I'm like, how did it work this quick? Like I put it in like twice, and like all of a sudden my orgasms were like doubled and tripled.
What
From
the
strengthening
hell?
like your pelvic floor?
I don't know if it was that.
Maybe.
I don't know
I was
if
gonna
it
say
was
maybe.
Just like
That's
maybe
so
I had
interesting.
really good sex those times. But yeah, like orgasms have major opportunity.
I heard
Well,
about
that's exciting because girls don't know these things. No one
Yeah,
talks about it. No
exactly.
one normalizes
If you're on
it.
my OnlyFans.
She got you.
Yeah, and like you guys, I know this is information that you probably haven't heard about before, or maybe you haven't ever heard anyone talk about it. Like, we are here because people don't talk about this, and that is the importance of this conversation. So if you're like taken back by this, like take a deep breath. Like, we're here to have Molly like say things that from an entirely different perspective. One more thing, back to the yoni egg. I heard about it 2 days ago. because I told you you would vibe with Vanessa.
Who we just had on our podcast.
Yeah.
She told me about it.
Oh.
She's got a yummy
So
egg.
you guys need to connect. I'm gonna make you
Yeah.
two.
You do.
Yeah, shock rubs. Shock rubs is where I got my yoni egg.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
So in the bedroom with all this information,
Yep.
is there? Do you yoni egg is just for yourself? You don't use that in the bedroom with another partner.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
no.
Vibrators.
Yep. Vibrators, butt plugs, dildos.
She's like, you want me to keep
Listing
going?
in the most straight face ever.
Nipple clamps.
I have not experimented with nipple clamps. I think I bought some, but they were like fumbly.
Mm.
So I was like,
That's not very fun.
yeah. And I
Sounds
also
random.
just like
Or feels
use
random.
your hands. You have two hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
true.
Very true.
Things on us.
True.
I like that. That's very true. Well, that's all the masturbation
I know. I was gonna
questions
say.
I
I
had.
thought you had another because you.
I
were
will
like,
say
boom,
that I just bought my first like full size dildo, and that like actually is like silicone, like feels like a penis. And it's amazing.
It's kind of intimidating to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd only again, like I had not masturbated ever my whole life. I didn't have a vibrator. So my first vibrator that I bought, I was like, still married obviously, and it like stayed in our sex basket on his side of the bed, and I like I felt like, oh my god, I can't touch it, like it's not mine. And then all of a sudden,
That's
I'm
a
like,
reality
fuck this.
of
Like,
so many
I'm
people, though.
keeping this on my side of the bed. First of all, like. That was so silly to me. Like that was like well into my like embodiment journey that I still was like hiding my vibrator. Like I have my dildo like on my nightstand now. Like
It doesn't need
there's
to be hidden.
no shame like at all.
There's
people-
no shame in that vibrator by the desk because the other day I had a TaskRabbit come into my house to put up my standing desk.
Oh no.
Little do I know that next to my bed, there's not like a cupboard or anything. I just
Andrew's like,
I
what?
just
Your shelf.
He knows where it is. Just kidding. But I have everything just laid out right there. The TaskRabbit just sitting right by that. And little do I know, I was like, oh my God, he's probably just staring right at my dildo.
It's sitting right there.
Sitting right there.
Oh Lord, have mercy on us.
But
Help.
the first time I got my first vibrator.
Is it clean?
Yes.
It's just like crusty.
Oh, I'm
No.
scared. Oh my
No,
God,
no,
I'm
no.
scared.
But I remember in college, so I hadn't experimented with any sex toys. And I went to this. Do you guys know what Pure Romance is?
It's a
Oh,
part.
yeah.
Don't they have
Yeah.
parties
So
for
it's
them or
MLM.
something?
They have, okay, yep, it is. So I went to this party and it was
Didn't
with
know
all
that.
your girlfriends. It kind of made like the whole sex toy thing fun. Someone's up there and they're talking about different lubes and different sex toys. And I remember this girl, she was so confident and I was like, this is crazy how open she is to talk about all this. Reminds me of you and I love it. But she takes this phallic, is that the right word? Looking sex toy, and all of a sudden slaps it on the wall. Boom. And she just sticks it on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's on the wall and you use it on the wall.
What?
That's what my dildo has. A suction cup on the bottom. Yeah, you can use in the shower.
That's kind of wild.
Isn't
I've
it
never seen that with my own
It's
two eyes. That's
awesome.
what I'm saying.
You can suck
I've
it.
never seen it.
I want to like stick it on someone's leg. Like why
Suction
not?
cup.
You can stick it anywhere.
Do what you want to do with it. It's yours.
I will say the shower is very fun. That
Yeah.
was the first
That's
place
cool.
I tested it out.
There you go.
Sweet. But yeah, so the reason the sex toy stuff, obviously you don't need to be using sex toys if you don't want it. This is all, personal, whatever you're feeling. But I just feel like it's kind of it spices things up here and there. So.
It totally does.
And I feel like for me, because I, again, never touched myself, like riding dirty manual with just my fingers is like a challenge. And I'm like,
yeah.
sometimes I challenge myself, like, okay, we're not going to touch any of the toys. We're just going to like do this old fashioned.
The old-fashioned way.
Yes.
I
a little
appreciate
more
you.
work.
Yeah.
I appreciate you speaking to all these things because these are the reasons, like, I kind of like what you touched on before, but like, this is why Straight Candid's a thing, because we are being candid. These are real life things. These are real life things that I'm not going to lie, I personally need to learn about and be more open with. Because I haven't had anybody to speak to me about these things. And that's why I appreciate Molly more than freaking anything, because she's here. She speaks openly. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. And if, like Sophie said, if this anything that you're hearing is a little out there, whoa, like I've never heard this. Oh my God. Like I'm also sitting there with you being like, whoa, some of this is out there. I'm kind of, whoa, how should I feel? But it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's healthy to learn and be curious. And I just have to freaking preach that to the world, because we can't sit closed-mindedness or in closed-mindedness when this is our reality and we have these things right in front of us to help us be better and learn about our bodies.
That was
And
awesome.
Preach.
That was an awesome.
Sorry, I
Yes,
just had to
good.
add that because I was like, oh, I just have to snap my finger real
Love
quick.
it.
Ayo.
I like that because
Thank you.
sometimes I agree. Like we have to kind of do a little disclosure here and there because like we said at the beginning of this podcast, we're not trying to be color daddy.
Hell no, we're not.
And this is not color daddy because
Hell
this
no.
is speaking from local people that are experimenting with, you know, different parts of themselves, of their journey. So, Molly, do you have any questions for us? Anything else you want to add?
Add or give advice or whatever
okay.
it may be.
Let me look.
She's got a little
Yes.
list.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah.
a little list.
End with some raw truth. Just
All
let
right,
let the
let's do
people
it.
hear
Give
it.
the people what they want.
Okay. So this is like, okay, because I've seen like the questions and stuff that have come in on your show, like, do men see hair on our nipples? And like,
Oh,
what do you
when
think
we had those
about
questions, I remember.
this, whatever. And I was like, I remember like on the other side of my phone, like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like,
the
number
butthole
one.
hairs,
Yeah, butthole hairs. Okay.
That one went like viral on TikTok.
I feel like I want to look at the camera for this.
which apparently Chris answered incorrectly. I'll say that now. Boys do see your butthole hairs, but
Thank
guess
you.
what?
I've said that from the beginning.
But guess what? Who cares?
yeah,
exactly.
literally my second
Molly,
point.
hit us with it.
Right here. Anybody who cares about body hair or normal body functions, such as farting, queefing, burping, or gagging, is not worth your time.
Yep.
Hey,
Barrett,
Like, do whatever the hell you want with your body.
don't let anyone degrade you or
Yeah,
make
like-
you feel like less than for having those things.
Guess what?
that
Air
are normal.
enters the vagina and you queef. That's like how it, like, I remember that being like the most mortifying thing in my marriage is like,
like it wasn't a fart.
oh, I'm so sorry. It's because it was your fault, actually.
Yeah, what?
'cause you're the one who put the air in there.
But so many people feel shamed when they do that, and that's like, why?
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Or like I didn't shave. I mean, I did not grow out any of my hair until like this last summer, and the only reason I grew it out was because I'm like, I don't even know what my bush looks like. I need to just see this hair.
So you got a bush.
No, I don't have it anymore.
Oh.
But it was nice. It was nice while she was there.
Well, she was there.
And
Goodbye.
I also like am just less like I just don't. I'm so whatever now. Like
Yeah.
if I
Yeah,
don't want to
you're
shave
open,
for a
you're
week
whatever.
or two, like nobody cares, right?
Yep.
Okay, you're allowed to look the way you want, smell the way you want, act the way you want, sound the way you want. You are allowed to take up space and show up as your whole ass self.
Love that.
Damn.
I think emphasis on smell the way you want. Like I think women especially get so caught up in like how we smell and like if someone's going down on us, like what does it taste like?
Like, oh my
And,
God, did I eat
it's-
pineapple
he's
today?
he's like right by my butt and like I'm nervous. Like, yo,
It's okay.
it's all good. It's all good. And yeah, by the way, gagging is hot.
Ooh.
So
She just
So,
tosses that in there.
that's
She goes,
that.
so
your desires are invitations to explore. This may mean exploring within your own body, learning about a new subject. Maybe that's BDSM or power exchange or an erotic fantasy. And they are allowed to be explored safely and consensually.
people needed to hear that.
Monogamy is not the only option. Friendships are open relationships. You are not weird or less magical for being turned on or not being turned on by any one thing. I think a lot of people, like especially people that realize that they're gay later in life, and they're like, oh my God, I was never attracted to the opposite sex my whole life, and now I'm finally admitting it, right? Like, you're not weird. That's okay. And asexuality exists. There's a lot of people that do not have spontaneous, like, they don't spontaneously get aroused.
Which
That's
is
a thing,
okay.
and that's
And you're
okay.
you're nothing's wrong with you.
Yes. And that's all.
I love
Sorry, I didn't have to very well.
No, that's okay.
That's all. I realized that was my last one. We had covered the other ones.
I love it. Molly, thank you for freaking being here and
This
being
was fun.
open and just giving your all and giving your everything from what you've learned and sharing what you've learned, because you've been on a damn journey and back and you've just been living and being open, and she gives a peace sign. And just thank you for being willing to give everything to the people, to the listeners, like everything you've learned. I don't even know how to encapsulate it all because
Yeah.
I learned so much.
And keep being you.
Keep being you because you're a
Seriously.
queen.
I can't wait to
Team.
follow along on not only your Instagram now, if you know what I'm saying.
Sophie's too excited for this. I swear
Sophie,
to
are
God.
you
I'm
ready
sitting
to
here and
see
I'm like,
my
wait a
whole-
minute.
Are you ready to see my whole ass labia?
Hey, I think yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Bring it on.
Bring it. Let's do it.
Sophie
Spread
killing.
them.
Bring it on, baby.
Molly-
Labias are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Hell yeah, they are.
Thanks, girl.
Molly, we love you. Wait,
love you
at yourself.
guys.
Give your Instagram.
Oh yeah, Molly R. Hale. That's on everything, including OnlyFans. Molly R. Hale. Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, Twitter is my place where I hang. I love Twitter. I just fucking love Twitter.
Quick, what was your tweet that went viral?
Oh, it said you either have a naked window neighbor or you are a naked window neighbor.
Yes.
We're the naked window neighbor here, by the way, because
Same
these
with-
people literally
yep.
watch everything we do, and I'm like, all right, buddy, go behind your blinds, fool. That's
It's
what I
so
want to say.
funny. I forget who it was. I was at like a yoga class and someone literally said that tweet out loud, and they had no idea who you were. I'm like, oh, I know her.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
acted all cool.
Yeah, I was like,
just
I was like,
name dropping.
yeah, I was like, oh, is that Molly's tweet? Yeah, I know her.
You kill me.
That's
You're
literally
so
me
funny.
with this podcast.
Hey!
Like people are like, oh, it's my favorite podcast of 2020, and I'm like, I know them.
Oh my god,
I know
that totally
them.
like tooted my
Yeah, I
horn.
know
I feel
them.
so excited. Sorry. I got a little sweaty. You guys send us a message at Straight Candid Podcast. That's on Instagram. Otherwise at straightcandid@gmail.com. That's our email. Thank you for being open. Thank you for indulging. Thank you for being a listener and learning with us. Because damn it, it's beautiful.
I can't wait to meet you guys. I hope that your people follow me.
They
and
will.
I can,
They will. They love you.
You
they can
guys,
say hi.
right now, get on there, follow her.
All right, you guys.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
Talk
you,
to you
Molly.
later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Zippity-gada.
Killing it, Molly. Hey, baby.
Sweaty. Like I just get sweaty.
Woo! I was getting a little sweaty.
Hey.